Alright guys, so today we are talking about angles, arcs, and sectors, and then we are also going to be talking about inscribed angles as well. So we're going to do both. So the first thing that you need to know is what a major arc and a minor arc are. So a major arc is using more than 3 letters. So like on number 2, it says the major arc for LAQD. So AQD is here. And we want to talk about the major arc that goes with this angle. So from D to A, that would be a minor arc. The major arc is going all the way around this way. Yes, so this is the degree measure it's talking about is this measurement, which would go with this measurement. So that is a major arc. Now if I wanted to talk about the minor arc, I would talk about from A to D, and that would be this angle inside here. And that would still be angle AQD, but instead of major, it would say minor. So there is that information that you need to be aware of. And then the other thing is this is the symbol for angle, and then these little curvy lines are the symbol for arcs. And a central angle, like this one, let's talk about number 1. So I want WQV, so WQV is here. And it says, name the arc made by the given angle. So the arc for this angle is this guy right here. So that would be arc WV. And this measurement, how many degrees this is from W to V, is the same amount of degrees as it is in here. These two are the same because this touches the center of the circle. It changes when you move the center to the side of the circle, and we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, now we're going to be talking about arc YW. So that's this arc right here. And the central angle for that arc is this guy inside. So that would be angle WQY. Or you could say angle YQW, but Q needs to be in the center because that is where the center of the angle is. Okay, number 5. Find the measure of the arc or the central angle indicated. Assume what lines that appear to be diameters are actually diameters. Okay, so we are looking for the measure of angle UYX. So UYX, where's Y? Oh, it's in the center. Oh my goodness. UYX is here. And we want to know the degree of that. So the degree of that is the same as whatever this arc is equal to, because that makes up like the border where the angle is. So all you have to do here is add up 62 plus 55, and we get 117. So this whole arc is 117, and this angle that matches with it is 117 degrees as well. That's the same thing on number 7. So on number 7, I want the measure of GIQ, so Okay, so since the I is in the middle, when I make my arc, when I draw it, I have to make sure that the I is in the middle. So it has to go around this way over to K. Okay, so I want to know the degrees of this arc right here. Well, I know that this one is 105, and I know that there are 360 degrees in a circle. So if I do 360 minus 105, that will give me 255 degrees that is left, and that is what GIK is equal to, that arc. Okay. On this page, we are solving for x. Now, before I told you that if you are looking at an arc and you are looking at the angle that matches or goes with that arc, so like this angle in here matches the yellow arc, those are equal measurements. So I have this 95 here, which isn't really doing anything for me, but I know that 45 is equal to 9x. This measurement and this measurement are the same. So in order to solve or figure out what x is, we're going to divide each side by 9. And x is equal to 5. Okay, on 11, so 11 we're trying to figure out what x is equal to. Okay, so I know this arc is 58, and I know this arc is 97, and I know this arc is 45, and because if you have a central arc or an arc that, a central angle, the arc is the same, I also know that this outside arc is 90. So in order to get my leftover piece, we're going to do 360 minus what we have. So minus 58, minus 97, minus 45, minus 90, and we get 70. So 70 degrees for this arc here. So that means this guy, 35x, is equal to 70 degrees. Now to solve for x, all we have to do is divide each side by 35, and x is equal to 2. Okay, and then we're not going to do the rest of that page. We're going to jump over here. Okay, for the inscribed shapes. So for these guys right here, it's still the same idea, but because this is not in the center, and it gets stretched a little bit more, this angle right here is worth half as much as the arc that goes with it. So if you can see here, this angle goes from here to here, cutting our circle, our shape, and this measurement from here to here is what we're trying to figure out. The measure of arc ABC. So ABC is this big arc here. Now I know that the angle that matches this arc, because the ends end at the same spot, this angle inside here is half as much what the big arc is. So to figure out the arc that matches with it, you would do 114 times 2. So 114 times 2 is 228. So 228 is the measurement of this big arc. So whenever you see an arc like, again, on number 3, so if you look here, this angle right here that we have a measurement for is half as much as the arc that it matches with. So this arc right there. Okay? Now I'm trying to figure out what SRQ is, so I am looking to figure this out. All I have to do is take my inside angle, 102, and double that. Oops. And I get 204, and that's how many degrees this arc is. That's the relationship that they have. Okay, number 5, this guy over here. I'm trying to figure out what question mark equals. Okay, so I know a few things. The first thing that I know is that this angle is half as much as the arc that matches with it. So to figure out this arc first, which I need to get over to this side, I'm going to do 38 times 2, and 38 times 2 is 76. So I have 76 degrees for this angle, or this arc, and then this arc over here is 150 degrees. So if I do 360 minus 76 minus 150, then I will get 134. So question mark is 134 degrees. Okay, keep going on. All right, let's look at number 8. So on this one, again, I have this cute little angle over here, this guy to this guy. So that angle, C doesn't really matter right now. This angle is half as much as the arc that it matches with. Okay, so to figure out this arc, we would have to take this guy and double it. So 114 times 2 is 228. Okay, so in order to figure out question mark over here, I'm going to take my two measurements, this whole arc and this cute little guy, which is 44, and subtract them from 360. So 360 minus 228 minus 44 is 88. So question mark is 88 degrees. Because remember, there are 360 degrees in a circle. Okay, number 10. So the same idea here. I know that this angle matches and is half as much as this arc that it matches with. This guy right here. So I can figure out that arc pretty easily. All I do is take my 80 and multiply it by 2, and that gives me 160 degrees for this arc. And then I know that this arc plus this arc plus this arc equals 360 degrees. So 360 is equal to 160 and 76 and 61x and 2. So 360 minus 160 minus 76 minus 2 is 122. So I'm just getting all of these like terms together on this side. So I just did the opposite. I subtracted them from 360. And then we divide each side by 61. And we get x is equal to 2. Okay, let's do 11. 11, again, I know that this inside arc that goes all the way to the edge of the circle is half as much as the arc that it matches with. Okay, so I know that if I double 47, then that will equal 95x minus 1. So then all we have to do is solve. Here, let me move this. Okay, so 2 times 47 is 94, and that equals 95x minus 1. Add 1 to each side, so 95 equals 95x. Divide each side by 95, and x equals 1. Okay, this one, hold on. Okay, so let's look at, number 14. Okay, so again, I have this angle here, so this angle is half as much as the arc that it matches with, this guy here. So we're going to set up an equation to solve and figure out what our x's are. So it's harder to say that this is half, especially because this is 23, so I definitely don't want to multiply this guy by a half to get them equal to each other. Instead, I would rather double this measurement to get it equal to what this is. So that's what I'm going to do. 2 of these guys is equal to 1 of these guys. Okay, so then we solve for x. So we distribute our cute little 2, so 22x plus 4 equals 23x minus 2. We got to get our variables on each side, so 22x, and I'm going to add 2 as well at the same time. So now I have 6 equals, what is that, x. There we go, well done. Oh, wait, and then I have to find the angle of FD. So now what we have to do is we have to take this 6 and plug it back in here. So we have 23 times 6 minus 2, and that will give me the arc measurement of arc FD. Okay, so 23 times 6 minus 2 is 136. So this is 136 degrees. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, 16. Okay, so on this one, again, the same idea. This angle is half as much as the arc that matches with it. And the easier, well, this one is fine because it has 2, but it's easier if you just double this inside angle. So we have 2 times 5x minus 13 is equal to 8x plus 4. And then we're going to solve again by distribution. So we've got 10x minus 26 equals 8x plus 4 minus my 8 and add my 26. I got 2x equals, what is that, 30. Divide each side by 2. Oh, sorry. And x is 15. Now what I need to do is I need to figure out the arc of EF. That's this guy. So I'm going to take 15 and plug it into x. So I have 8 times 15 plus 4. And 8 times 15 plus 4 is 124 degrees. So that is my answer for the arc measurement of EF. Let's do some more. Okay, 22. Let's do that one. Again, the same idea. This arc right here is half as much as the angle that it matches with. This arc is double this angle. Sorry, I think I said that kind of backwards. So I'm going to take my 75 and multiply it by 2, and I'm going to get 150, and that's this whole arc. If I was just talking about from P to J, I would take 150 and minus it from 60 and get 90 for this arc. So this arc is 90, this arc is 60, this arc is 80, and I'm trying to figure out what question mark is. So the first thing I need to do is I need to do 360. Okay, we can see it now. 360 minus my 3 arcs that I know. So minus 60, minus 90, minus 80. And that gives me 130. And that's the measurement for QR. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is question mark. So in order to get that, I'm going to look at the arc that matches with it. This whole arc that matches with question mark is 60 and 130, so 190. To get question mark, I'm going to take my 190 and divide by 2. So, how did I do that? That was magical. Oh gosh. There we go. So there's our answer. Same thing happens on like 24. So you just have to look at what you have and then kind of work your way around. On 26, this guy is slightly different but still the same. This guy right here, he is in line or matches with a diameter. So this diameter, remember, is 180 degrees, which means that this arc is also 180 degrees. Well, so that this angle here is half as much as this guy. So we have to do 180 divided by 2, which is 90. So that means that this amount, 16x minus 6, is equal to 90 degrees. And then we solve for x. So we're going to add 6. 16x equals 96. And then divide 96 by 16. And x is 6. Oh, like that. Okay. Then, let's see what else. I guess we'll do number 30. Again, the same idea. This inside angle right here is equal to half as much as the arc that it matches with. So we're going to take this guy, 23x plus 2, and double it, and that will give me 47x plus 1. Well, that's, anyways. So we distribute here. 2 times 23 is 46x, and 2 times 2 is 4, and that equals 47x and 1. Then I'm going to solve, so subtract 46 and minus 1. So now I have 5 equals x. Okay, then we're going to find ECD. So ECD, this measurement here, we're going to solve for this guy. So we're going to plug in our 5 to this x. So we have 23 times 5 plus 2. So 23 times 5 plus 2 is 117. Okay, if you have any more questions or you get stuck, please let me know. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye.